I have a huge announcement.
Can't wait.
I am very excited to tell you that dating apps are dying. I think getting in your 50s is hard enough. You shouldn't have to go online to date.
Yeah. I mean, luckily I'm not in that position, but if I was, I would never go on a dating app. I don't know how any of that is real.
If you ever have to, I'm going to do your profile and I'm going to make sure it says Connie Z.
Oh, God.
Welcome to Talk 50 to Me.
Talk 50 to me.
Let's do it again. Hi, Constance.
Hi, Heidi.
I know you don't like Connie Z. I'm really sorry. But anyway, I won't call you that ever again. I read an article about dating apps and how they're dying and how, like, the woman who founded Bumble had to fire a bunch of people. And I know when I tried to do dating apps once, I think I wrote in my profile that the only place I'm going to meet you is at a police station because it just feels so highly unsafe.
Highly unsafe and highly unlikely that what people are sharing on those apps is true. I don't know. I'm
like the photos in general. I always say
photos alone.
You show up and it's like, what year was that taken, sir?
Well, now,
and is that your brother?
When you did that article and you went and you got with a matchmaker, right?
Yes.
Those people that were showing up did not look like what they looked like on there.
Okay, so the bad part of that was there were no photos. So I was just told, because it was a matchmaker, I was told this guy's perfect for you. And when I showed up, there was one man sitting in the restaurant, and I thought, well, that can't be him because I'm pretty sure his walker is very close by. He was 100 years old and was wearing a really bad rug and was wearing a down vest inside. And he chopped his food up into such small bites. I really did feel like I was at a nursing home with my dad.
Okay, so that was no photos. But when you were on Raya, because let's just admit that you were on there, who were you getting matched with?
Okay, so nobody. So here's the thing about Raya, which is, the dating app for celebrities only, basically, which I'm not sure how the hell I got on there because I didn't even have a huge Instagram following at the time. Maybe I'm just so amazing. They thought, yes, we need her.
True.
So when I was on it, and this was 10 years ago, the age range only went to 55 for what you fit into, like your age range. The thing slid to 55 only, as if you're over 55, you're just dead and don't matter.
Wait, you couldn't be over 55 and be on Raya?
I mean, you put your age in as a number, but you couldn't slide. Like, I couldn't slide higher than that for the guys I was looking for, and guys couldn't slide higher than that to find me. So nobody saw me, but the people I saw daily were and your good friend.
Wait, what?
He's so big on Raya. I mean, I don't know if he still is.
Right. I mean, this is 10 years ago.
I mean, yeah. So if you want to be go on Raya. Or
by the way, I would totally go on a date with.
You would?
100%.
I mean, he's funny.
Yeah. I like someone that's funny.
I don't think any of those guys are looking for a 65-year-old woman. So
probably not, because I mean, let's be honest, the Golden Bachelor wasn't even wanting people over 60. Excuse me.
That guy was a douche. I'm so glad they got rid of him.
By the way, they didn't. The show is on with him, and it's with all girls who want to date a 60-year-old man, and they're fucking 23.
Wait, what?
Yeah, no, it's on with him. Because somebody just tagged me and was like, this feels like a Quinn move, that Quinn would have put this girl on.
Yes.
Because she basically walks up to him at the first episode and says something like how ageist he was and like comes at him. But yet she's on the fucking show vying for his love. I'm confused about the whole thing.
I think
dating is hard. Let's just be honest.
Dating is hard. We have a singles bar in Montecito. I won't tell you the name, but it rhymes with Schmuckies. And it's where all the old, I say it's guys that have 1 foot in the grave and 1 foot on a banana peel. And the bar is stacked with 50-year-old women just waiting to meet one of these geezes. I went in there and I was like, no, no.
Well, look, it works for some. Our guest today found her fiance on a dating app. So let's get into it.
Let's do it. Today's guest went from being one of the highest paid supermodels in the world to what she describes as being relinquished to the invisible women category in her 50s. And millions of us felt seen and instantly hit the follow button. She has publicly battled the billion-dollar anti-aging business, launched a worldwide conversation about women and aging, become a cover girl again at 59 for Estee Lauder, wrapped starring in her first film, speaking in her native tongue at 60, posted her bilateral hip replacement scars, and has fallen in love. She speaks for all of us when she proves that women are not done in midlife. We are just getting started. Please welcome the truth-telling, soul-bearing, inspiring, and ageless Paulina Porizkova.
Oh, yes, Paulina.
Thank you. Thanks so much for being here today. We want to start off by asking you something that's behind you, but one word to describe what your 50s were like.
Oh, that's sort of behind me. Okay, so my 50s, am I allowed swearing on this show?
Oh,
Oh, fuck
God, yeah.
yes.
We swear every other word.
Okay, well, my 50s were a shit show. I mean, an absolute and utter shit show. It started poorly enough in when I turned 50. I remember this so well, like the 50th big birthday. And I thought I was okay with my age, like my 40s. I was like, I kind of liked the way I looked, and I liked my life better. I felt a little bit more confident with myself. Then 50 hit, and my marriage was falling apart. My husband didn't seem really that into me anymore. And I thought, of course, personally, like a child, I thought it was because I was faulty, that it was me who had grown unattractive and I was too old to be attractive. And, at career at 50, as a aging model, that model from the 80s obviously was non-existent. I had written a novel that sold okay, but it's not like anybody was clamoring for my books. I started my 50s off with going, I don't know who I am, where I am, what's going to happen. All I know is that I'm really deeply and utterly unhappy.
It's really
So that's
interesting.
where it started.
It's interesting because I'm 65 and Constance is 55. And I've noticed in doing the podcast how dramatically it's changed in the 10 years since we turned 50. And so I ask you now, what's your one word for your 60s?
Well, I have been 60 for maybe 3 months. And I feel like I have been reborn. Like I have a whole different life. 60s is the most hopeful and most grateful and the happiest I have ever been. And it feels like, it's totally cliched, but it feels like I had to burn down. I had to completely implode and burn to ashes for something new to regrow. And that new regrowth is me now.
Well, that's how a lot all of that is helping all of the women in their 50s, right?
Yeah. And I think I just want to go back to that because you said going into 50 shit show, but yet you recorrected your course like in 54, 55, right?
Well, I think, yes, absolutely. Because look, I think that shit show that really truly happened in my mid 50s. It was when I decided to leave my marriage, when it's like I have to change my life because I cannot tolerate living this sort of twilight for another, whatever, hopefully another 30 to 40 years. But that life was unlivable. It was not a life. I felt like I was walled into a room with no light. So I took it upon myself to change my life. And I tried everything. I went to my husband and I said, please, let's do therapy. And please, let's, let's take some trips together. And I started art classes and writing classes. And I was immersing myself in everything. I was like kind of pulling on everything to sort of keep me afloat. And it wouldn't. It was sinking. So at some point I had to leave the ship. And damn, I'm full of metaphors. Sorry, ladies.
Was that
But
scary?
I really did. It was the most frightening, the most lonely, and the most horrible time was when I made the decision to change my life, to get out of my marriage, to no longer be safe. Um, it was the scariest thing I've ever gone through, by far. But it was either that or death. That's kind of what it felt like.
I think it's so interesting that betting on yourself is one of the scariest things that we can do.
Yeah, I think you know what, that's true, and that's really sad. I think for hopefully not for all of us, but for some of us that grew up a certain way, I was never enough. I had to put on a show and a tap dance and serve platters of food while I tap danced in order to feel like I was worthy of being loved. So, no, betting on myself seemed like a terrible idea. It's
Yeah.
like betting on on the sinking ship. Like, bad
Now,
idea.
did betting on yourself include you deciding to put that post on social media, on Instagram with no makeup and saying, this is what I look like. This is who I am. I'm proud of where I am. And, was that a part of you betting on yourself? Because that was you putting yourself out there as vulnerable and as raw and as unfiltered as possible. And the feedback, I mean, that's when so many people, and this is just as an outsider and being one of those people, tapped into you and followed you and wanted that content so much because there weren't a lot of women in your position talking about it. So was that also a part of you kind of betting on yourself?
No, I mean, I wish I could say that I bet on myself, but I haven't really started betting on myself until now. I mean, I've just started actually with Estee Lauder, with reforming my alliance with Estee Lauder. That is when I think I bet on myself for the first time in my life. That's a different story. But Constance, the first time, no, I've never bet on myself. Everything that has happened so far has been total fucking accident, and good and bad. But I think when my husband died, and this guy I was dating left me because I was crazy, he said. And COVID hit. I posted a video of myself crying without makeup, obviously, and just fucking sobbing, 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 sobbing. And that video was kind of like the beginning of this new trip. And that was not just me without makeup showing myself as I look and as I am, but it was me crying as hard as you can cry. It felt like I was vomiting on camera or
Mm.
shitting on camera. It was that vulnerable. It was hideous. Like now when I watch it, I think, what was I thinking? Like, why did I post this? I mean, I know why I filmed it because I cried like that all day, every day for months. So at some point I just became interested in it as like an anthropological experiment. Like, what does it look like when I keep crying like this? But what made me post it, that's hugely questionable. I mean, it could be a bit of narcissism, sure. But I think I was so utterly alone and so desperate. And I was really just trying to, I was trying to find like one other voice out there in the wilderness that would say, I see you,
Mm-hmm.
because I had nobody.
Mm-hmm.
And it was hundreds of women, thousands of women that saw me. And initially it was my grief. It was the grief. It was the revealing my vulnerability as a famous person who shit happened to. Like, wow, we thought you had it all made and you had this blessed life, and here you are, sobbing like some maniac on your Instagram. That's
Not
not what Instagram is for, lady.
No, it is actually. That's funny because I mean, I know I use it as therapy and I puke it out and then I release it. And then I get people saying thank you because you just therapized me. But I always say I'm talking to myself first. And I do believe that was the original purpose for social media, was to connect us and to
Yeah.
make us feel less alone. And I think you do an incredible job of that. And um, I think it's really brave and wonderful.
Thank you, Heidi. Well, I follow you. I feel the same way about you. I get so inspired by funnily enough, I actually I hate fashion. I really couldn't care less about clothes. As you can see, I'm in a bathrobe right now. Yeah. Uh but watching you pull things on while you're processing something, where your memories, recollections, things that you're thinking about, and pulling on these really cool pieces of clothing that I would think, well, does that really go? Uh,
I get
it
that a
has
lot.
such,
I get a
well,
lot of people that say, I don't know, this one did not come together until that last minute.
but
But,
that's what's so incredibly rewarding about it is your sort of don't give a damn, your confidence in like, I am putting this on because I like this piece and I like this piece and then I like this piece, and all together it'll become me today. It's just that's why we watch you, because it's reassuring, um that you seem to have the kind of confidence that I'm still working my way towards, honestly. And a constance, I mean, I we just had dinner quite recently together, and I walked away telling my love Jeff, I was like, she's kind of where I want to be. I mean, I know you're younger
yes.
than I am, but you have that kind of like, yeah, I'm good. Like, I like this. This is good. And I'm still working on
Well,
that.
that's the whole
I'm
reason
just
why
a
we did
really
the
good actress. I'm
podcast.
just a really good
No.
actress, Paulina,
Yeah,
because
she's a
Yes,
hot
you
mess.
are.
because
She
I
is a
don't
hot
I
mess.
I don't have it all together. It's all smoke and mirrors.
But that is why we did the podcast. But thank you for giving us the segue
Yes.
into Jeff.
We appreciate it because we want to talk about Jeff. We want to talk about this new part of your life, which is happening going into your 60s. Even though you met him at the end of your 50s, I would
Mhm.
love it if you could share,
Go back.
how confident you were about meeting him on a dating app, seeing him on paper, and how does the rest of that story play out?
Okay, so uh, I had been on the dating apps for about 3 years before I met Jeff. So I was okay, and also, like some of us are meant to have a life path like with ourselves and our friends, and I'm not one of those. I'm a duck. I need a duck partner. Um, that's just who I am. I work better as a pair. Um, and so I knew I was looking for my other duck. And I went through the day. I was on every dating app available. I mean, except for Grinder.
I would have loved
Like,
to
wait.
have seen what you could get on Grinder. That would have been a good
Could you
story.
imagine those notices? There's a hot supermodel 3 blocks from you.
Yeah, except the thing is, like, half the people didn't believe that I was me,
Yeah.
so they kept kicking me off the apps because they were like, "You're violating our guidelines," and I was like, "Why?" And it was just because I claimed I was me. Anyway, so yes, I met my beloved on an app, and so this is 3 years of looking and dating. Like, I took it as a job, like knowing I need my duck partner. I need to find my duck partner. I'm not gonna. I understand that good luck is like what you make out of your life. It's not sitting on a chair on your butt waiting for something to happen. Nothing will happen that way. So, good luck, you gather it by going out there and risking something. So I took it as a job. I would have like, okay, this week I'm going to do 3 dates. Next week I'm going to take some time off. The week after that, I'll do 5 dates, whatever it takes. So I interviewed quite a lot of men for this job of being my duck partner. And they all failed miserably. I mean, needless to say. But I knew what I was looking for. At the end of my 50s, I had been demolished. I had put myself back together by myself. And I kind of came up going, okay, I know what I need. I know primarily I need a man who has courage and the courage to be with me. The intellect that that I find really sexy. And then it's going to be kind of like physically sexy to me. I didn't have a long list. I had 4 things that I really felt like I needed in a partner. And those are the 4. There you go. When I first saw Jeff's profile on the app, I mean, he would be the kind of guy that I would normally pass by. He had these dentist glasses that he thought made him look like Steve Jobs, but no, it was dentist, like dentist from a Scandinavian country specifically. So like, nice, but maybe not hot. Sorry to all Danish dentists. I don't mean to offend you. And his profile was kind of like nor there nor here. He's like, I'm ambidextrous. And I'm like, oh, well, you don't know what the fuck you want. That's what it is. He's like, I'm an introvert masking as an extrovert. Again, I'm like, you don't know who the fuck you are. So wouldn't have been interested, except he used a song that was very special to me of a singer that I really love. And I thought, well, if nothing else, he's got great taste in music. So we could be friends, but without saying hello, communicating for maybe like 4 or 5 lines of text. And I think I knew within 5 lines of text that this might be the guy. And it's literally because,
Wow.
I know it's crazy. And it's because his 3rd line of text to me, that first day that we texted to each other, January 2nd, 2023. He said, what did you want to be when you were a little girl? And this was like in context of, something else. But I thought, now there's a question that literally no man has ever asked me. Nobody has ever thought to actually ask me things and listen to my replies.
Mhm.
And he asked. And then when I told him I wanted to be a cleaning lady, or a postal worker, because I did live in a communist country and those were great jobs. He, kind of got my sense of humor, and we went on from there. And like 2 lines later, we were talking about the Roman Empire and how we both were huge fans of the Roman Empire because we had both seen Claudius when we were 13. And I was like, I think this is the guy.
Wow.
I think like if he can kiss well, this is it.
Wow. And did he kiss well? By the way, you are funny as fuck. I just have to say, you're so funny. I'm curious, what were the insecurities like when you first started dating him? And do you have those insecurities now? Like, did you put all your crazy out there right in the beginning for him to see, as they say?
Hey, that's such a good question. And like literally nobody has asked me this before. It's so funny because it's such well, maybe it's not an obvious. You're just extra smart. Yes, in fact, yes. I can butter you up too on the side. In that first month, we didn't meet because he lived in LA and I lived in New York. So we did a lot of Zoom calls, a lot of, like, hey, let's have a tea over Zoom. Let's have a wine over Zoom. Let's have a tequila over Zoom. Hours later, we were talking. And he keeps reminding me of this all the time. He said, when we first started Zooming and talking about ourselves in some of our first conversations, he said, you warned me. You're like, I just want you to know that I can be extremely needy and crazy, and I will try to make you jealous, and I will do this, and I will do this, and then I can get really cold and bitchy and naggy. the buffet of all my inadequacies, I laid before him. And I was like, so am I good looking enough for you to, bypass all of this shit? And I think he was taken by my honesty about my shortcomings. And he was like, well, I would like to find out for myself. Almost 3 years later, and he's like, you know what? I have never seen a single one of those things
Yeah.
that you told me was going to happen.
Yeah, those are all things
Not
someone
a
else
single
told
one
you.
of them.
Right.
Yeah, somebody else told you
Thank
you had
you.
those. Yeah, that's where the lack of confidence comes from. Did you have an unnurtured childhood, by the way? I'm just curious because I did.
Sure.
Yeah,
Sure.
yeah,
We recognize each other, Heidi,
yeah,
don't we?
yeah. Like sees like.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
that's why it took us till fucking 60 to start loving ourselves.
Yeah, because I didn't know how to do it. I mean, how
Yeah.
did you Okay, and here's the thing. How and I'm curious this about and Constance, I don't know about your childhood either,
I
but
mean, peaches
how
and cream. I mean, clearly no
Oh,
problems, no issues that I know
yay!
of.
You get the award, you get the
I don't
medal,
know
you
what the
win.
award is for, though, because I still have a lot of issues.
Well, maybe the award is for managing to turn peaches and cream into crap. I don't know. That's an interesting way of looking at it. Yes, a childhood that didn't teach me. Well, also it taught me that love was that you had to dance for love really,
Yeah.
really hard.
Yeah.
And also I wasn't sure what love was. How did you learn what love was when you weren't loved?
It took me a really long time. I always say the biggest thing that happened to me was doing ayahuasca and dropping my ego for a minute to tap into all the things that happened to me that made me realize there was nothing wrong with me. I was just super unnurtured. And I sort of repaired that relationship with my parents. And then, honestly, on my 60th birthday, all of my friends told me how important I was to them and how much I mattered. And I just finally believed it. And I've taken it from there. And I'm like, yeah, I am fucking awesome. And all the things I've been told I wasn't supposed to do, I am. And I'm okay with that. You know? So I think it's really for you, like I see you describing yourself in these sort of insecure ways, and people would look at you and say, but that's Paulina Porizkova. She's one of the most beautiful women in the world. How could she feel that way? And I think that's what's so wonderful about talking to you is the reminder that all women have been smashed down in so many ways, that it really is our lifetime work to just fall in love with ourselves, you know? And that it's okay to do
Yeah.
that. You're very worthy
Well,
of loving, especially for your sense of humor. I'll tell you that. Not everybody has that going on.
Yeah, because remember, we've all been told that good-looking women can't be funny.
Yeah.
oh gosh, have I heard that? In fact, I think people are so shocked if I exhibit any sense of humor whatsoever. They give me way too much credit for being funny because I'm not supposed to be. So it's kind of nice. It's like nobody gives me credit for being smart either. So it's really easy to overcome expectations.
Yeah, you're like a funny nerd. Who knew? A funny,
Yeah.
hot nerd. Paulina, tell me something you wish you did sooner in life.
I mean, I could say that I wish that I had, you know what? I wish I had gone to therapy sooner.
Mm.
I wish I would have started therapy sooner and started delving through, um, the my parents' abandonment of me and like why I felt so unworthy. Maybe if I started opening the package that is me a little sooner, I
Mm.
would have gained a little bit more time, but then maybe things were supposed to happen just as they
Yeah.
happen.
Well, I'm going to tell you the one thing that actually helped me the most. I always forget. I studied something that teaches you that you choose the parents that you are born into so that your soul learns lessons. And when I'm stuck on something, I think, well, I'm supposed to be here. What am I supposed to learn?
Yeah, I think I read several books on the same subject, and I agree with it. This is how I choose to look at the world, because obviously that's faith-based, but that's fine with me, is that we're here to learn a lesson. Each lifetime is a lesson, and the people that you're with are there to help you with that lesson. Sometimes that's really, it's not great. Sometimes they hurt you a
Mhm.
lot in order for you to be able to learn the lesson. I feel like I'm a little offended that I had to take that many people hurting me in order to
Mm.
learn my lessons. Uh, I kind of wish that we could say stop already. Like, can I be done learning now? And it seems like, I guess, if you live, you learn, and the pain is a part of that learning bit. So one has to accept it. Sometimes you get tired, though. Sometimes
Yeah.
I get tired.
So, could you give some advice to the next generation of women?
Uh, no, because unasked for advice is the worst thing you can possibly do to anybody else.
Okay, great.
No, I will not advise anybody.
Okay, great.
No,
Just
you just
fucking
go
tough
out there
it
and make
out.
your own. Yeah, no, you go out there and make your own fucking mistakes. And if you want my advice, come to IG and ask me, and I will let you know.
amazing.
All right, we have one last thing. It's a surprise question. We don't know what it is. If you hate it, blame Constant.
This is always what she says. I didn't write all these questions.
No, she didn't, but you know. Okay.
Heidi just takes credit for the good ones.
That's correct. If you could give one menopause symptom to men, which one would you choose and why? If you could give one menopause symptom to men, which one would you choose and why?
Oh, okay. That's a really good one. One menopause symptom. See, the thing is, I would really like to give them that sort of moody craziness, but they would never realize that it was hormonal. So they would just make it all about themselves and make the world run around their stupid ass moods. So let's not give them that. Oh, I know. Lack of libido. Let's give them that one.
That's a popular
Let's
answer.
give
That's a very popular answer.
Let's give them a dry dick, shall we? Let's see how that works.
Oh my God. I think I hate
We need
to
to
say
end
this,
on that.
but this has been one of my favorite episodes ever. And you are an absolute fucking delight. I hope I get to meet you IRL one day. And
Absolutely.
thank you for boosting my ego today. And we've loved having you. Thank
We
you so
love you,
much.
Paulina, so much. Truly.
Well, I love you, ladies. Thank you for inspiring me. Thank you for, making this a sisterhood. We need each other.
We do.
Thank
we
you.
do. We do. Thank
Okay,
you.
Goodbye.
Bye, Paulina. I feel like you and I are just staring at each other because we don't even know where to start because she said so many things that I just wanted to just keep listening to her.
I'm blown away by how funny she is.
Yeah,
I mean,
she's never given that platform, right? Her platform is be beautiful and don't talk.
yeah.
And so when she talks and when she's sharing of herself, like what she talked about, basically the shit show of her 50s and getting to a point of betting on herself is when she has been shining the brightest.
Yeah. I know it was really interesting to hear how terrifying it was for her and how she did it anyway and how she had to get comfortable with the uncomfortable. And it was relatable to me because that's how I felt about my 50s, which we don't hear that much from our guests. But I think now that she's 60, there is a light bulb that goes off at 60. There really is. And I said that.
Do you find that it's because you do all the work in the 50s that then you get to your 60s and that is the moment where you can say,
I definitely did the work to try and understand myself in my 50s. But when I hit 60, it all just went, oh, I see. I think there are markers in your life. I think that happens when you turn 40. I think you turn 40 and overnight you feel like you were handed this book that has all the answers to all the questions that you were asking. Like, oh, that's what that meant.
Right. And, I said to you the other day, this Victor Hugo quote that is 40 is the old age of youth and 50 is the youth of old age.
That's why it's such a shit show.
Yeah, because you're that
Thank
quote
God we
freaks
have
me
this.
out.
Thank God we have this podcast, because I would not know that Paulina Porizkova finds me inspiring, and now I can die.
I just love that she thought I had all my shit together. Like, clearly,
You're a good actress.
It's working
like you
what I'm
said.
selling.
You're a good actress.
All right. So, should we do our shout outs? Do we have some social media shout outs?
We do. Yes, social media shout out. So we do love reading a lot of your responses, especially the one word for your 50s. So we wanted to give you a few more from our Instagram. It's Beth McNamara said that her one word for 50s is fearless.
Love.
Which we love. V Ventura said exhausted,
Duh.
which is relatable. And Michelle Ann Muldrow said annoyed. And I have to say, I was so annoyed in my 50s, but also my 40s, my 30s, and my 20s.
Basically, just your whole life you've been
I
annoyed?
think I'm just annoyed all the time.
I get it. That's all right. But that is it for us.
That is it for us. Thank you so much for
so
joining
much
us.
for joining us. We really are excited that we're giving this platform to women to talk about this decade and beyond, because I really
Good shit.
I really love it. All right. So, do you want more of Talk 50 to Me? Follow us on Instagram at Talk 50 to Me and subscribe to our email list to get Talk 50 to Me updates and announcements. Have a question? DM us on Instagram or email us at talk50tomepod@gmail.com. And remember to like and subscribe wherever you find your favorite podcast. See you next Tuesday. Bye now.
Talk 50 to Me with Heidi Clements and Constance Zimmer is produced by Alex Beatty, recording engineer Aaliyah Walker, editing by Zelaine Hesse, music by Matt Friedman, production services provided by A4S Podcast Studios, a Talk 50 to Me LLC production distributed by the Forward Network.